Did you know that an average of 137 rainforest species become extinct every day? The number one cause is loss of habitat.
Rainforests are destroyed each and every day. They are being cut down and burnt for cattle ranching, oil, drilling, logging, or lumber, and planting crops such as sugarcane. The effects of this destruction are more than most people realize.
Did you know that every second we lose an area the size of 2 football fields? Did you know that every minute we lose an area 29 times the size of the Pentagon? Did you know that every hour we lose an area 684 times larger than the New Orleans Superdome? Did you know that every day we lose an area larger than all 5 areas of New York City?
Did you know every week we lose an area twice the size of Rhode Island? Did you know that every month we lose an area the size of Leeds? Did you know that every year we lose an area more than twice the size of Florida?
As you can see, preservation of the rainforest is very important. Now we would like to present you the Great Kapok Tree, where we will learn about preservation from the perspective of the animals and people who live there.
Two men walked into the rainforest. Moments before, the forest had been alive with sounds of squawking birds and howling monkeys. Now all was quiet as the creatures watched the two men and wondered why they had come.
The large man stopped and pointed to a great kapok tree. Then he left. The smaller man took the axe he carried and struck the trunk of the tree. Whack, whack, whack. The sounds of the blows rang through the forest.
The wood of the tree was very hard. Chop, chop, chop. The man wiped off the sweat that ran down his face and neck. Whack, chop, whack, chop.
Soon the man grew tired. He sat down to rest at the foot of a great kapok tree. Before he knew it, the heat and hum of the forest had lulled him to sleep.
A boa constructed on the kapok tree. He slithered down his trunk to where the man was sleeping. He looked at the gash that X had made in the tree. Then the huge snake slid very close to the man and hissed in his ear.
Senor, this is a tree of miracles. It is my home where generations of my ancestors have lived. Do not chop it down.
Beast was in the sleeping man's ear. Senor, our lives in this kapok tree, and we fly from tree to tree and from flower to flower, collecting pollen. In this way, we pollinate the trees, the flowers of the rainforest. You see, all these things depend on one another. A troubled monkey scampered down from the canopy of the kapok tree. They chatted to a simple man.
Senor, we have seen the ways of men. You chop down this tree and come back for another. The roots of these great trees will wither and die, and there will be nothing left to hold us in place.
When the heavy rains come, the soil will be washed away and first would come a desert.
A toucan, a macaw, and a cock of the rat flew down from the canopy and squawked to the sleeping man.
Senor, you must not cut down this tree. We have flown over the rainforest and have seen what happens once you begin to chop down trees.
Many people settle on the land. They set fires to clear the underbrush, and soon the forest disappears.
Where there once lived life and beauty, only black and smoldering ruins remain. Bright and small tree frogs crawled along the edge of a leaf. In a squeaky voice, they pipped in the man's ear. Senor, a ruined rainforest means ruined lives, many ruined lives. You believe that you many of us homeless if you chop down this great king hop tree. A jaguar had been sleeping along a branch in the middle of a tree. Because his spotted coat blended into the understory, no one had noticed him. Now he leapt down and padded slightly over to the sleeping man. He growled in his ear.
Senor, the cape tree is home to many birds and animals. If you cut it down, where will I find my dinner?
Poor tree porcupine swung down from branch to branch and whispered to the man. Oxygen. Do you know what trees produce? Oxygen.
If you cut down the forest, do you know what you will be doing?
Senor, you destroyed and gave us all life.
Several anteaters climbed down the kapok tree with their young clinging to their backs. They gurgled to the sleeping man.
Senor, you are chopping down this tree with no thought for the future.
And surely you know what happened tomorrow. Depend upon what you do today. The big man told you to cut down the beautiful tree. He is not think his own rule. Must cut down the tree.
A three-toed sloth had begun climbing down from the canopy when the men first appeared. Only now did she reach the ground, plodding ever so slowly over to the sleeping man. She spoke in her deep and lazy voice. Senor, how much is beauty worth? Can you live without it? If you destroy the beauty of the rainforest, and what would you feast your eyes?
A child from the Yanomamo tribe who lived in the rainforest knelt over the sleeping man. He murmured in his ear.
Senor, you wake up, please, look upon us all in your eyes.
The man awoke with a start. Before him stood the rainforest child, and all around him staring were the creatures who depend upon the great kapok tree.
Wow, what wondrous rare animals you are.
The man looked about and saw the sun streaming through the canopy. Spots of bright light glowed like jewels amidst the dark green forest. Strange and beautiful plants seemed to dangle in the air, suspended from the great kapok tree. The man smelled the fragrant perfume of their flowers. He felt the steamy mist rising from the forest floor, but he heard no sound, for the creatures were strangely silent. The man stood and picked up his axe. He swung back his arm as though to strike the tree. Suddenly he stopped. He turned and looked at the animals in the child. He hesitated. Then he dropped the axe and walked out of the rainforest.